Are you seeing a lot of your friends in that community very upset with Tommy, or what's the situation behind the scenes in terms of Tommy basically using everybody?
Well, Tommy disappeared, but as far as like those friends, again, I do the air quotes. Uh, they, the ones who are still Tommy's friend, air quote, are not talking to me at all.
Oh, so he's not hearing from DJC or anyone like that. Oh, what a shame.
Oh wow,
Who
so
are
there's even a
who?
divide in the community now because the people that are sort of awake and see what he has done have been sort of kicked out of that group.
There was a reason why they called it a cult. Okay.
And the thing that baffles me is why was the cult so strong? There wasn't even like a true product yet. Like I would believe a cult more for the Ouya.
Because he's a groomer. Exactly. That's it.
Then the Amico it never even truly existed. So how did that even happen? It couldn't have just been opportunity because there had to be something else. Like what happened behind the scenes that got people so...
Well, I mean, I think realistically it was just the idea of talking to Tommy and being part of it, right?
I mean, that's a big part of it. For me, I didn't know who Tommy was prior to, honestly, before the Amico thing. I learned about his background later. I mean, when I think of G4, I think of Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler. That's who I used to watch. I don't really remember Tommy because I watched it back in like the early 2000s, late 90s. I think they were on. But I learned about him after. But there's a comedy bit on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there's actually a comedian talking about this. And looking back in hindsight, it's kind of interesting because he's like he was making jokes about video game music, and these nerds like attacked him online for making fun of Tommy Tallarico. And like in hindsight, you look at that and you go, "Wow, that's interesting." So I think that's a big part of it. There's a big part of it that were huge fans of his that got an opportunity, like they saw him as a celebrity.
Yeah, so Tommy Tallarico has been grooming people for many, many years.
And there was people like me who were small YouTubers and looked at it as it's like very hard to grow a channel. Like it is.
Yeah, but what would have kissing his ass benefited you with? He's an irrelevant guy who's a personality from the early 2000s. Yeah, he made a lot of money.
Right. I think it was less about that and more of if this thing works out, then I was on the side of it was just like gambling.
They just thought they could, leech off the popularity and fame of a celebrity. It's like people who follow the Kardashians and all the rest of it. They think if they follow someone who's popular, Wendy Pops, then their life will be sorted and their channel will take off and they don't have to do a real job and so on. And then it all fucking blows up in their face.
Like I was on the side of the right side.
Right side?
Okay, so it's probably a little bit harder to explain because there was like this hater versus cult mentality amongst these small YouTubers. So a lot of people were kind of just, embedded into that mentality.
But you even went to a point though where you were defending Tommy. You even went after me. I think I was critical of Tommy one night, and I don't know if it was a DM or it was public. It doesn't matter. You said it where like my family should be ashamed of me. And where did that come from? It was bizarre.
I said, I'm glad you brought this up because I did want to address it.
Okay.
The direct quote, you had said something to Tommy and I had said something of being disingenuous. At the time, I thought you were being disingenuous because I thought you were friends. You were quote unquote friends with Tommy. I thought you guys were cool. From what he told me, Rich is a good guy. He's on our side. He's, going to bat for us. He's pro Amico. So when I saw you flip, I was like, wow, that's fucked up. He kind of turned on his friend there, And then Tommy's messaging me, I can't believe Rich did this.
Wow,
that's messed up.
So he's using you as so he's a coward that was using you as a guard dog.
Well, all I'm saying is he didn't go after you on Twitter. I did. Right?
He did later on. Yeah, you did too. Yeah, and
but
that
Rich,
what were you going to say?
Before I go on, I do want to address the family thing because I apologize if it came off as I was attacking your family because honestly, I said it in my live stream. I don't know your family. I don't know. That's none of my business. I don't care. That's your personal life.
I just say I don't know what drink it is that Rich is drinking because it's not familiar to me. It's not something we have in the UK. So if it's something healthy, maybe. But if you're going to have several cans of something, I don't buy several cans of Pepsi Max. I buy a whole 2-litre bottle, and then I'll pour a drink out of that into glasses or a glass. I wouldn't buy several cans because you're just spending 2-3 times as much money.
My thing was, it was like I've said it before. You see it like a crackhead on the street, like, oh yeah, I bet your family's proud of you. You know what I mean? It wasn't meant to be a jab at your family, but I can see how if it was taken that way, and I do apologize for that if it was taken that way. Because that was not my intention to do that. I was not trying to like involve your family or anything like that. I'm not that.
Yeah,
I'm not that much of a prick.
I don't know. Are you looking at the stream right now?
No. Yeah, I have it up on my phone.
Okay. Because I'm going to show you something. You kind of have a trend of going after people during this era.
I'll just pause it. Who Caitlin is that his ex or no? Sorry, she's quote tweet. Oh god, I said I didn't understand tech. People when they quote tweet from, rather they can't just follow a tweet and reply to it. They have to quote tweet it just to shout louder. Retro Bro, I'd be pro-abortion too if Tyrone was knocking up my wife every weekend too. I don't know what video that is. What's wrong with being pro-abortion? It's the woman's right to choose, which when they reversed Roe versus Wade, and there were women who basically didn't like to have the right to choose, which seemed very odd indeed. Why wouldn't they want that? I don't know. Caitlin says, it's me, I'm the wife. I'll change my stance on abortion here, and now if any of these men can find the clitoris. I can find the clitoris, but not through a screen, obviously. I don't know who Tyrone is or what's going on, but there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the anger got a hold of me. But
God, he's gone quiet, hasn't he? Rich has been good at keeping receipts, but Retro Bro wasn't expecting this. Seen some of the comments. Rich going hard. Oh, he is Silat. Exposed. I thought he'd gone quiet, but he's just staggered.
I did say it. The tweet's still there. I didn't delete it.
I think that's the other guy on his stream, but I don't know who he is.
That was because you were defending the Amico? What happened?
No, that had nothing to do with the Amico. That had nothing to do with the Amico. That was a total separate issue. Like, honestly, that was so long ago, I don't even remember what I was arguing with about the guy. That's long for me. I got a lot going on.
Yeah. I'm just saying, though, it just kind of shows a trend of how you get with this. And so what I'm kind of boiling this down to is that you were seeing an opportunity with. Did you even actually think the Amico was promising, or you were just like, all right, this could, if I'm on the right side of this, I could get a following on YouTube? Did you actually think it was promising, or you just were like, okay, I'm gonna latch onto this?
No, I probably thought it was a bit of both, because they might have had some promise at first until the price racked up, and and they just kept putting it off and delaying it, and it was clear it wasn't ever going to come out.
I think at the beginning I was excited about it, and I did just want to honestly cover it.
But
so realistically, like, you know what? I'm going to just say this: if you just came to the party to get views, that's fine. That's why you're doing YouTube, and that's why you're on
we
YouTube
all want views.
To this day, we want views.
Was it part of it? Yes, Jay. Yes, it was. But at the same time, I was excited to be covering a new console. Like, I didn't have this opportunity with the Ouya. I didn't have this opportunity with, like, the arcade one-up or anything like that. So I figured this was a good opportunity for me.
But you didn't see, like, the red flags until, like, very, like, because that, when you got into that back and forth with me, that was really late. Like you didn't.
When was
see
that? Do you
anything?
still have those tweets? Was that like...
I don't still have them. We all know it, but like what that was.
Well,
like
what is Rich? What does it matter? Like who is the grand arbiter to say when it was and wasn't too late though? Because I know you said, oh, you waited way too long. Like at least Smash got out early. I was like 3 weeks after Smash. It was really right around the same time frame.
And Smash got out late too. He got out at almost the 11th hour.
Well,
you were still on.
For me, because of that, it was honestly for.
I'd love to know how much. It seems clearly that Retro Bro has invested some money in this. So I'd love to know how much he's invested.
For me, it was that closeness with Tommy, and then when I found out he lied to me, I was like, dude, he lied to me, and then he wouldn't even apologize for it. So I was like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not going to keep doing this for you.
So you haven't talked to Tommy. Like, what is Tommy doing right now? You haven't talked to Tommy since?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Tommy since, like I said, April.
And how did that end? Did he just basically say F you? Or was there any conversation?
There wasn't like an FU. There was a pretty much he would always say, like, just so you know, our friendship doesn't come down to the success of the Amico. And I'm like, that's interesting.
So full of shit.
Because the second I left, that was not the case. Like, he doesn't.
So let's just give.
So Tommy's just trying to wheedle his way out of things.
Give you a second right now to really clear the air to everybody in the community and Tommy and even Rich here. What is your overall sort of view of what happened here, and how are you feeling at the end of the day? Like, do you feel like what you've done here is good, bad? You know what I'm saying here?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, good and bad. Like as far as what, like just my Amico coverage?
Well, yeah, just the Amico coverage at this point, because it is basically dead in the water now, and you spent so much time and energy trying to invest to get, some views back. Do you have anything to? What I'm saying is, do you have anything to say to Tommy that he might hear? Because he might actually be watching all of this stuff.
Would Tommy be watching 2 hours into a 4-hour live stream? I doubt it.
Because we're giving you the opportunity to talk directly to him, because he's never going to talk to you again, man. He's not your friend. He's not popping up to be like, hey, sorry I disappeared for 8 months. I'm your friend still. So
he's not inviting you to the barbecue.
So yeah, we want to give you the opportunity to basically clear your mind here. How do you feel about the whole
dunk on him
situation at the end of the day with Tommy? Do you consider yourself friends? Is there anything you want to say to him?
No, I don't believe we're friends. I don't believe we are. I mean, I've said everything I needed to say to him personally. I mean, he manipulated a bunch of people, and there's people that are still kind of holding that candle for him even after he's gone.
Well, wasn't there there was actually, they sent out like prototypes to some of the super.
Okay, I got a good story for this.
Yeah, give us that story.
You asked me why did you stay on? Why did you stay on? So they have been promising these test units to YouTubers for over a year. I have actual documentation records that I could show, which I'm going to do on my channel, that showed that these units were promised since February of this year. Actually, I think it was March 5th is the.
Which makes you wonder why they've been taking so long to send them out, or to send it out to two people.
Date I have.
So you stayed on the Amico bandwagon and hurt your credibility because it may get you a prototype?
No, I had left. For me, when I found out he actually when I found out he lied to me, I didn't care. Okay. I didn't care because up until probably spring, when I found out about the escrow thing, I honestly did not think he lied to me about anything. I had no reason to believe at the time. Like there wasn't undeniable proof that he had lied to my face.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found that out, I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, you can give me whatever you want. I'm not going to sell my credibility for a fucking test console. So
you already did that though. You already sold your
Rich,
credibility.
what do you want me to say, Rich? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, I did. That's why I'm on here. That's why I've done multiple streams apologizing. You said I didn't apologize on one of my streams. I absolutely did. I apologize to a lot of people.
Well, you just had a stream up recently where you made fun of my audience, saying that,
Well, we made fun of a lot of people on that stream. You should watch the whole stream.
We did. We watched the whole thing.
No, you watched an outtake that I was talking about you. It was the stream was like 2 hours long. You weren't the only one that caught some fire on that stream.
Okay.
I've not seen the stream, so I don't know what he's talking about. But Has he burned other people, or I don't know?
And
but
why was
that
that?
wasn't that.
Why?
But that
though?
wasn't an Amico related stream.
I mean, Retro Bro, he's obviously in his mid-40s. Why is he going around slugging other people off for the sake of it? Isn't that about the time you sort of... I mean, I'm 50. And like 25 years ago, if I was if someone cut me up on the street, I would just be like, on the road, I'd be like the kind of person who would shake their fists and go, yeah, bastard. And now, as long as no one's injured, if someone just happened to cut me up or sort of zoom in and then zoom ahead on the road, I would just be like, I don't really care. Just glad they're in front of me and not behind me trying to crash into me. As long as they've zoomed up ahead and fucked off, then I'm not bothered. I'm done with, I can't be doing with the hassle, basically.
It doesn't matter. You were talking about the fact that all I had was an apology. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
I don't know whether he's gone to the toilet or something, but it seemed to be quite brief. And then he does bring up something, so let's just pause it a minute.
I think somebody tried to bring him a pizza and he's not hungry.
This is Phil's reply. Oh, this is Rich's tweet. This is Phil's reply to my invitation to come on the show. Colour me shocked. He won't come on. Don't come on. And that's the final point. You made so much money on me already. There's no fucking way I'm going to let you make bank on this interview as well. It's your loss. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. You could have been someone great. You said you chose to be a discount Keemster who sucks cucumbers with his shirt off, which he doesn't even do. Well, that's Phil Adams' reply. Interesting.
Anyway, so what was I saying? People don't understand that I'm trying to. What was I saying?
Basically, I mean, we're going in circles about the stuff that, that live stream about Rich catching some fire there.
Yeah, what was you recalled? You said most of my audience is probably. First off, I had a sponsor in a video saying I made a mistake about interviews. It wasn't that I was EDP445. You went after me with that.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Back up again. EDP44. What was that?
No, you were saying that it wasn't like I did something absolutely terrible. I was saying that I should have done a better job with the interviews. So you went on the whole thing with that. Then you went into the whole thing with me. Oh, how does he have it's a vitamin drink. Why does a fat guy have a vitamin drink? It's not working for him. Then you went into that. Most of my audience probably is about 700 pounds, I bet. You went into all that stuff, dude. You were salty as fuck on there.
I wasn't salty. We were having fun in the chat. I wasn't salty. We were having fun in the chat. My audience is feeding off the audience. It's no different than when you went on stream, Rich, and you called, Mike Mullis a ball sack liquor. The guy's wife, that British guy, that his wife was lying. It's no different than that. You do the same thing.
Who did I call a ball sack liquor?
I can tell you. Hold on. Mike Mullis in one of the reaction videos.
Who is Mike Mullis?
He's one of the Intellivision cultists.
He's not British.
I called him a ball. Well, I'm sure I did call him a ball sack liquor. But it's about the context of what you were going after. Where did that video even come from? What was the not attack? I won't use attack because I do the same thing. But what spurred that video? Because I had that thing up about Tommy in my interviews.
No, I think probably someone in my chat probably brought it up. Yeah, because I had recently uploaded a video. It was like a 10-second clip of you saying the Retro Bro go fuck himself, and that I had just uploaded that because I thought it was funny. I'm like, why does this guy care so much about me? I'm like 3.5K subs. So I uploaded it, and then somebody in my chat had brought it up. And at the time in the live stream, we were just reacting to a bunch of videos. We were just like finding videos. Like I reacted to an MJR video. There was like other couple small YouTubers we were.
Honestly, these people who react to videos, how lazy is it?
Reacted to
the Metal Jesus.
The Metal Jesus. We were making fun of his bare feet because he did a video of this racing game, and he's like on the steering wheel, barefoot. Shit was funny. I mean, we're just hanging out.
Well, I have a question.
I hate people. Why people have bare feet? Just put some socks on, for crying out loud.
And so,
especially if you got a camera running.
Do you, at this point in time, you're completely and utterly done with Tommy, correct?
Correct.
And the real question is, like, what about that whole friendship? If he came back to you and said, "Hey, I went through a hard time and all this stuff," would you even take a second to talk to him, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, he would need to apologize for what he's done, and I don't know if he's capable of doing that.
Why would you even bother with Tommy Tallarico anymore? We all know what he's like. Why even bother?
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I looked at Video Games Live. He hasn't done a show since April. I know something happened with his family. I'm not going to go into that. Like, I won't. But he hasn't done it. Like, he's like in witness protection right now. He lied to so many people. He actually came and said to me after I was like, he said that I needed to seek help. He actually DM'd me right after a live stream.
He told me he told me he sent that tweet or
what a bizarre thing for not at the time he wasn't the CEO anymore. Like, could you imagine like Mark Cerny going and say coming into my DMs and saying that I need help? He had in gaming racist. I actually have that on the soundboard. Like, all right, man.
In Tommy's defense, I think that's one of the few things he actually did apologize for was the gaming racist thing.
Did he?
Yeah,
did
because
he? Where?
It was on a Reddit thread. It was on a thing called like Entering the Lion's Den, where he supposedly apologized for a lot of people, but a lot of people said it felt disingenuous.
I'd love to see Tommy's apology. I bet he's never apologized for anything in his life.
At the time, if I could find it afterwards and send it to you, Rich, but that's the only time I ever recall him kind of going back on some things. But it was still like one of those apologies where it's, well, I apologize, but this happened, or he would apologize and then make a justification for it as to why he did it.
So Phil Adam, he took over as CEO there. You said you have some stories about him, because I found out he was also part of the Coleco Chameleon crowd, which, yeah, it amazes me. They're like, oh, but he had nothing to do with it doesn't matter. He was part of it. And you have another retro startup, and you're actually going to hire a guy who was part of one of the biggest retro disasters ever. Anyway, like, what do you know about him? He like puts out a statement like once every 6 months in the middle of the night that tells you absolutely nothing about the Amico. Like, what is the future of the fucking company now? Like, they're probably not coming out with the console. Not probably. They're definitely not coming out with the console. What are they doing? Do you know?
I have no idea.
No one knows. They're just trying to scam extra money out of it. You think they'd take what they have got and then run. They're not going to get, they've got the majority that they're going to get out of it by sticking around. They're only just making things worse for themselves. A chance that for the police to catch them. So you think they just run away now and keep stum?
The only thing I knew is they were supposed to be building these units by hand because they don't have any money left. So they were supposed to be building these units by hand.
Well, they got $17 million in the bank and they're $10 million in the red.
Which, by the way, I don't think they did. There's theories that these are videos that were consoles that were pre-existing, and they just sent them out to YouTubers. Their idea was to send these out to YouTubers so they could get them to stream, pro Amico folks, get them to stream it so they could essentially rope another investor into money so they can go to manufacturing.
So pathetic. So, you know what? And the saddest thing is that look, it had a slim chance to begin with. I said that from day one when Tommy even first came to me, but it was his ego that completely destroyed it. And I hope in the end, we'll end the interview here, that I learned this lesson a long time ago. It's not that I'm a smart dude. I've been gaslit by people, and hopefully from this, John, you learn to do a double take no matter who it is, because there's a lot of people out there, and this is just a saying, but there's a lot of people out there looking for useful idiots and to look to trick them to just get what they want. And he basically used you guys as like a free PR team and just hid by it. Oh yeah, we're friends. Don't worry.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, because I'd been doing YouTube for like 4 or 5 years before Tommy came around on my channel. And I was always kind of just the guy who just gave my opinion on shit and then left it be. And there was a few. I mean, do you remember the Dreamcade replay? Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, it was another failed console. It was essentially a mini PC with this custom built front end that would actually download the ROMs for you.
Sounds like RetroArch, but I don't understand RetroArch. I think I mentioned that in another video recently. I need to try and learn how to use it
on its UI. So it was illegal as fuck.
Okay.
But I made like 2 videos like saying it was bullshit, it was crazy, and then I think that silver-haired dude, I can't remember his name, but he made a video hating on it. Who's a bigger YouTuber? I think he has around 100,000 subs now. And I got a lot of shit for it, and I'm like, whatever. And then the Intellivision came around. I was like, well, maybe I won't give this one so much shit because I got hate last time. Last time I gave something shit, but you know, it is what it is. I should have stuck to my guns and just, you know, in hindsight, would I have done it again? I did actually get to meet 2 people that I've known for years in real life out of it, you know? So I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I've had that. That's as a person who's also been gaslit by not Tommy, but someone like that's a carrot at the end of the stick. Like like, hey, look who I know. No,
I meant people that I actually have known for years. Like,
okay.
Yeah, that I've got to meet because of the opportunity with like Crayola.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You've made some genuine friends, is what you're meaning. So.
Correct, and that doesn't excuse everything that's been done as far as like what Intellivision did with lying to investors and all of that. So, you know, but I guess that's the silver lining, you should say. And I did want to address something, Rich. The whole sponsor thing. You had mentioned that earlier because that was one of the things I mentioned. That was not my intention. I went back and listened to that, and that was a bad look. I do apologize for that. And my audience would never contact a sponsor. Like
Cucumbers.
my audience is so small, you know, and they would know. Like I would definitely. I do not.
You actually reminded me. I forgot that you did that part too because I'm a pothead. But yeah. Well,
no, I wanted to because that was a bad look by me, Rich, and I do apologize for that.
Yeah, and like I said too, if it was an apology video where it was something serious, I wouldn't have put a sponsor in there. It was just me saying I fucked up with interviews and I'll do better next time. So, all right, John, thank you for coming on. Hopefully, from this whole situation, you learned a lesson. That you know, it's a life experience.
Well, we all learn lessons when scammers are involved.
And I've tripped across people like Tommy in my past before, and just learn from it. It's the best thing that you could do.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Give me some
No
time.
problem, John. Have a good one.
So there we go, Retro Bro on the RTU streams. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Just interesting to have a sort of a bit of an insight into you know, when someone finally realizes that a groomer has been a groomer, even if the groomer won't admit it themselves, and they never will. Anyway, I'll call time on this video. In the meantime, until next time, please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.